Hey folks, got kind of a short video for you this week while I work on the longer one, which is the installation of all the electrical on this KZ900, stringing a new harness, making everything work and so forth. In the process of doing that, I found a problem in the start button in regards to energizing the start solenoid, and I wanted to show you a quick video on those clips where I identified the problem and then fixed it. It was a rather simple fix, but the procedure as far as identifying the problem could be used for any problem, whether it was simple or complicated. So hope you get something out of it. We'll catch you on the longer video probably next week when we get this one done as far as all the electrical. Thanks for watching. I can't test the horn because I don't have a horn, and I'm not going to do the starter. Now, while I can do the starter, actually we can test the starter solenoid because we don't have a wire going to the starter itself. So we don't have to worry about the engine cranking. So let's see if we can tickle the starter solenoid at least. And we cannot. It does not hit the starter solenoid, which it should be doing. You should be able to get it to go click, 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 because this is all hooked up. So we're not sure about that. Yeah, no, well, we'll have to diagnose that. But yeah, I have the kill switch on, start switch, and yeah, so that doesn't work. Don't know why. And this side, these are all the connectors for that right side, including the hazard. These are all proper. I'm going to show you a little electrical diagnosis stuff here where you can get fooled. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out why the starter solenoid is not getting activated by the starter switch. So the wiring diagram shows right off of the main ignition switch, there's a gray wire that comes into the emergency stop switch, which you can see right there. There's your gray wire. And then there's a gray wire there, rather. And then a yellow with a red that comes out that goes to the switch. The switch comes out black, goes down to the starter solenoid. So the first thing I did was I took a look at down here where this plug is. And when I turned the ignition on, and I took a look at the black wire that comes down to there, you know, I'm pressing that and looking at the meter. I'm trying to figure out why. I'm pretty sure that's the black wire. But then I looked at the red with the yellow, and I'm only getting 7 volts out of it. Now there's no sort of diode or anything like that, or anything that's you know, reducing that voltage directly from the ignition switch over here. It's got to be 12 volts. So I'm taking a look at that going, why isn't this working? And I'm not exactly sure. So then what I ended up doing was I just took the switch apart, as you can see right here, and I took a look at the brown wire where it comes directly into the switch. And if I hit the screw, it shows 7.13 volts. That should be 12 volts. That's what I have it hooked up to my jumper pack. So this is where it gets, where it can fool you. Now you're thinking to yourself, well, I got to trace the circuit back to see what's going on. Not so fast. Check the terminal itself down below the screw. And now we got 12.12 volts. So the problem is in the connection here between the screw of this ring terminal and the power of the wire. And to solve this, really all you got to do is just loosen that screw up and tighten it back up without the power on, hopefully, and it'll solve it. So you just got an oxidation, a bad connection up in here. So this is one of these things. This is a really good example of troubleshooting these systems and not letting them throw you. Now we'll turn the ignition back on, and we're going to try that again directly on the screw and see what we got. Brown wire, we're showing 12.14 volts. That's what it should be doing. And you hear that? Now we've got power down to the solenoid. So what we had was essentially a voltage drop from high resistance because of the corrosion up in this thing. That's what you have. So this is a really, really good example. I'm glad I caught this for you of typical diagnostics on an old motorcycle. You check one thing, don't just go off of that one thing. Check the terminal directly to it because that bypasses the connection. And that's when I said, oh, I know what this is. Now you'd probably find it anyway when you went through and just retightened everything, because that would be good practice. But this way you verify it.